Hello, my good friends. I couldn't stay away from these weird SpongeBob Flash games for too long, so I'm back with another video. In an ideal world, I'll do one of these every other week, but at the very least, I want to do one a month at the very minimum. So what are we doing here? There are around 761 games here. There may be more, maybe less, because I'm only looking at nick.com Flash games, but I want to tackle all the Flash games on this list, but no promises. Because come on, there are 700 plus games here. I don't even do the math on it or think about how long that would be. Why did they make so many SpongeBob Flash games? Anyway, the best chance to see that goal completed is by having a good amount of likes on the video. I'm a simple guy, I don't need a lot of likes. I just want to know that there's a general interest in this video series, so leave a like if you want to see more of this. And why not subscribe while you're down there? It's the best way to make sure you're up to date on this series and our other videos. So before we start, you know the deal. We all know that Flash has been dead for a fat minute now, so how am I playing? With good old Flashpoint, of course. If you don't know what Flashpoint is, it's a Flash game preservation project aimed to give all Flash games and other Flash media a home. All your favorite web games from your childhood are not lost in the annals of time, instead they're in a nice, pretty program. There are two versions of it. One is a lightweight downloader that lets you download the games as you pick and play it. The other one is the Big Daddy, where you download every game and Flash media they have, and it's huge. Look at the size of it. I'm not a madman, so I have the lightweight version until I save up enough to have a beautiful RAID storage to justify having it downloaded. But Flashpoint is amazing, and you should absolutely give it a try if you have the chance. I'll leave a link in the description to that. Alright, let's get into part 2 of the weird SpongeBob Flash games. First up, we have SpongeBob Skater Sponge, and this is probably the first game so far that made me feel like I was a kid playing Flash games again. This game is so oddly addictive, especially for how simple the game is. The premise is straightforward. You're a skater sponge and you're busting fat kickflips and 50-50s like it's Tony Hawk. Maybe that's why I like it so much, since the Tony Hawk franchise is one of my favorite franchises of all time. But the game is fighting against a timer to skate as long as you can. You have to go through obstacles, well, there are only two, a rock and these weird bamboo hurdle things. What are these? I have no idea. If you get past the obstacles, you get more time on the clock, so you can theoretically go for as long as you're good. I think that's why I kept wanting to play it more. I know I'm better than this game. I should be able to go for way longer than I am. I should be in my 50s still playing and achieving the highest score. Never mind, I'm trash. Wait, did I talk about the controls? You left click the ollie and left click again to double ollie. That's it. You can grind on top of the hurdles and that gives you a little speed boost, and you can do your second jump literally anytime you're in the air. These two things are what will essentially help you get bigger and better numbers, but I will say if they put a tall hurdle right after a rock, then the game is out to get you. It didn't take long to get to our first 3D Flash game so far with SpongeBob 3D Power Kart Grand Prix. Don't ask me why, but I expected this to be better than it was. I thought it would be closer to that PC Nick kart game I played a while back for the channel, but that was somehow too hopeful for me. You can choose your own character and why is SpongeBob talking zesty in my ear like that?
You don't need a license to drive a sandwich.
It sounds like what he was saying right before he started singing about striped sweaters. It legit caught me off guard when I first heard it, but you could also choose a cart as well, which is cool. Of course, the only real option is the one that gives you the most speed and acceleration. Who cares about silly things like handling? That's for chumps who can't drive. So basically this game is Mario Kart Wii, since speed is everything but without the Funky Kongs. You just use the directional keys to move around, and there are some power-ups, but I didn't really use it. I was also racing against the CPU, but I never saw them, so I'm not really sure they even exist. Past that, there was also an option to create your own tracks, and I was so excited to create my own insane tracks, but it wouldn't let me, so that truly has been my greatest disappointment today. SpongeBob Anchovy Sold is one of those launch games where you shoot or hit something and see how far it goes, but this one is a lot more boring. Usually in those games, there are a lot of items scattered around for your person or thing to hit so you can go farther. It was a spectacle, and you got a nice dopamine hit when you hit the balloons or a stampede showed up to give you a fat boost. That's not in this game. You mash a button, which is super annoying, and there are no obstacles to shoot you further. The only thing you can do is shoot jellyfish at the robot by timing it right. This is kinda cool, but it doesn't shoot you that much further, and you're limited by the amount of jellyfish you have. Once you're out, you wait, and you start over. Well, some people will. I turned it off. SpongeBob Avalanche at Plankton's Peak is a ski game with pretty finicky controls. Plankton has an amazing plan to take over Bikini Bottom, or to ruin Christmas, I guess? He's trying to cause an avalanche, so SpongeBob has to gather his friends to destroy the machine. There are two parts to this game. You have to gather your friends and then destroy the machine. I said that. I just said that. As for the controls, you move around, of course, but it's like oddly fast. It's really annoying to maneuver, but at least it makes dodging the obstacles a lot more palatable. Actually touching what you need to touch is another story though. Maybe my depth perception is trash, but sometimes I will be just off and I couldn't even slow down to catch it. It would be frustrating if they didn't give you a lot of chances. Hitting obstacles is a little weird too because I'm not sure what makes you lose a life. Like, I'll slam into all of the obstacles but only lose one life. I'm not really sure what that's about. Maybe they wanted to give you a little reprieve and make it a little less frustrating? To destroy the machine, SpongeBob turns into a snowball and you have to get to the problem. It's the same except you have to dodge lasers now, which is pretty messed up of Plankton. SpongeBob Bikini Bottom Bust Up is the bad Flash version of Punch Out. You dodge and you punch. You do have stronger versions of your attacks, but it only seems to matter for Squidward, and that's when he isn't a speed demon from hell. If you get enough hits, you can do a special move, which is SpongeBob throwing Gary at the enemy and letting God sort the rest of it out. There's not much to say about it, but I did have to play the German version of the game because the regular version didn't work. This was the same reason why I was having so much trouble with the boating game from the last video. I really need to figure out what's going on there. If Blue Maxima is watching for some reason, help me out, man. Or if someone else knows, that would be a great help. I think it has to do with the Flashpoint Navigator browser, I'm not sure. Finally, we have SpongeBob Bikini Bottom Carnival. SpongeBob and Patrick decide to hit up the carnival and play some fun carny games. Well, fun is subjective. I know I've said controls have been weird or whatever throughout this entire video, but none of them compare to the shooting gallery. I get not using a mouse. It was a different time and most of the Flash games then did not mix keyboard and mouse. It was one or the other, but here you move with S and shoot with the spacebar. You notice anything wrong with that? That's right, there's only one button for aiming. Pressing S makes your reticle go up, and when it's at the top, it goes back to the bottom. It's awful. There's no sense of control, and to hit the target, you have to be pre-centered on it, and that's hard. I'll be a little off, and whoops, that doesn't count. I hate it, and I couldn't play it for the full 3 minutes I wanted you to play. There's another aiming game, but that one's a lot better because it makes sense for the game it is, and you can at least move down and right. There are some press the right button games and some mashing games, but none of them are as notable as that damn shooting gallery game. The ring toss was a bit annoying because I couldn't quite grasp how long I should hold the key for, but I'll show the rest of the games on screen at the very least so you can see what they look like. It does say part 1, 2, and 3, so I wonder if there are more waiting for me down the road. As long as it's not the name that shall not be spoken, it'll be fine. And with that, we are done with part 2 of looking at weird SpongeBob Flash games. And hey, if you end up liking the video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more from us. Like I said, I plan on being consistent and having likes on these videos would definitely help motivate me to do that. And leave a comment of any type of Flash game we should look at, not just the SpongeBob ones. And if you have made it this far and want to support us more, we have a Patreon. With that said, it's all optional and as long as you're watching and enjoying the videos, that's good enough for me. That's what matters at the end of the day. Anyway, before you go challenging your friends to Mortal Kombat, have a good day. And an even gooder day to the 20th Century Boy, Mr. Steezy, Dusty, Kira, Cozy K, and Jake the 8.